Back in 2008, one of the world's biggest fast food chains publicly asked one of the planet's most famous rappers to change his name. This wasn't some friendly joke, it was a national ad campaign. They wanted Curtis 50 Cent Jackson to become 79 Cent. When he said no, they got hit with a $4 million lawsuit. This is the wild, true story of how a cheeky publicity stunt blew up into a legal war, sending a message through the worlds of marketing and music that a name can be worth millions. To really get how a joke about cheap tacos could spiral this badly, we need to jump back to 2008. The first iPhone was barely a year old, and social media influencer wasn't really a job yet. In that world, few stars shined brighter than 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson wasn't just a rapper, he was an empire. After the massive success of his album Get Rich or Die Tryin', he built a brand that went way beyond music. He had G-Unit Records, a G-Unit clothing line, video games, and of course that legendary deal with vitamin water that reportedly made him a cool $100 million. His name wasn't just for the stage, it was a registered trademark. It stood for power, resilience, and making something from nothing. It was his most valuable asset. On the other side, you've got Taco Bell, a fast food giant that was a master of a certain kind of marketing. They knew how to talk to a young audience using humor and pop culture to create campaigns that felt a little edgy and got people talking. This was the company of Yo Quiero Taco Bell and Think Outside the Bun. And in 2008, they had a new, super cheap value menu they needed to sell. Taco Bell rolled out a campaign called Why Pay More? Component placement centered on their new 79, 89, and 99 cent menu items. They needed a loud, splashy idea to get noticed. Somewhere in a boardroom, someone had what they probably thought was a brilliant idea. Their prices had cents in them. 50 Cent had cent in his name. It was perfect. So Taco Bell wrote a letter. It was an open letter addressed to 50 Cent. But here's the kicker. They didn't send it to him or his team. Nope, they sent it straight to the press. It was a press release pretending to be a friendly request. The letter, from Taco Bell's president at the time, Greg Creed, was full of puns and playful jabs. It basically said, "We know you adopted the name 50 Cent as a metaphor for change. We love change too." Then came the pitch. For just one day, 50 Cent should change his name to 79 Cent, 89 Cent, or 99 Cent. All he had to do was roll up to a Taco Bell and wrap his order at the drive-thru. In exchange, they'd donate $10,000 to a charity of his choice, cheekily suggesting he could take it straight to the bank, like his song. It was a calculated marketing move. By sending it to the media first, Taco Bell guaranteed they'd make headlines. They turned 50 Cent into the unwilling face of their campaign without paying him a single dollar. For them, it was a huge win. The only problem? They never actually asked the man himself. 50 Cent found out about this charitable offer the same way we all did, in the news. Suddenly, he was linked to a fast food value menu, and it wasn't a partnership he'd agreed to. The stunt worked, but it had a serious downside for the rapper. Blogs and forums blew up. As his lawyers later pointed out, people started accusing 50 Cent of selling out over what looked like an official Taco Bell deal. His carefully built image of power and authenticity was now getting mixed up with 89 cent burritos. He was not happy. This wasn't a joke, it was his brand being used without permission. His lawyers got to work, and on July 23, 2008, Curtis Jackson filed a $4 million lawsuit against Taco Bell for trademark infringement. The suit claimed the company had hijacked his name and identity for their own profit. The legal filing was brutal. It stated that Taco Bell made him the star and focus of its nationwide advertising campaign without ever asking. His lawyers argued that Taco Bell knew a real endorsement from a star like him would cost millions. The lawsuit put it bluntly. Rather than face rejection or pay fair value, Taco Bell chose to steal his endorsement. This wasn't just about the money, it was about a legal principle called the right of publicity, which says you can't just use a celebrity's name or face to sell your stuff without their permission. 50 Cent's point was clear. By building a whole campaign around his name, Taco Bell had broken the law. Facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, Taco Bell's public response was basically a giant shrug. They just kept saying it was all in good fun. A company spokesman, Rob Powetch, called it a good-faith charitable offer and said they would have been very pleased to write the $10,000 check if 50 Cent had just gone along with it. The message was pretty clear. Why can't this guy take a joke? Their official legal filing, however, wasn't so funny. In court documents, Taco Bell's lawyers tried to paint 50 Cent in a harsh light, stating, Plaintiff Jackson is a self-described former drug dealer and hustler. He is now a rap music performer who uses the term 50 Cent to identify himself. It was a nasty, personal jab meant to undermine his case. Their lawyers even called the lawsuit an attempt to burnish his gangsta rapper persona. The company's defense was that they hadn't technically used his name in an ad. They just sent a letter about him to the media. But 50 Cent's team wasn't buying it. By leaking the letter, Taco Bell was trying to pressure him into playing along, turning his identity into a marketing gimmick whether he liked it or not. The lines were drawn. On one side, a rapper protecting his brand. On the other, a corporation insisting it was all for a good cause and a few laughs. This whole story is a crazy mix of celebrity culture, corporate marketing, and legal battles. And there are tons of other stories out there where the headline you read is only half the story. If you're into deep dives that uncover what really happened, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming up next. Despite all the public trash talk and sharp legal moves, this case never saw a dramatic courtroom showdown. There was no judge, no jury, no big verdict. Like a lot of high-stakes corporate fights, it ended not with a bang, but with a quiet, confidential agreement. In November 2009, more than a year after the lawsuit was filed, the two sides settled out of court. The exact terms of that settlement are secret. We don't know for sure if money changed hands, but when a case like this disappears, it usually means a check was written. All we got was a sanitized statement from 50 Cent's lawyer saying, "As is often the case in these situations, the parties have agreed not to discuss anything about the settlement except to say both sides are satisfied." So, what really happened when 50 Cent sued Taco Bell? A fast food giant got a little too clever with its marketing and forgot a huge rule. A celebrity's name is their property. They thought they could get a viral moment for free, but instead, they got a multi-million-dollar education in the right of publicity. The case became a legendary warning for marketing departments everywhere. It was a very public reminder that even a funny, viral idea has legal lines you can't cross. You simply can't build a campaign on someone's identity without their permission, no matter how you spin it. For 50 Cent, the lawsuit was about more than a payout. It was about defending the empire he built on his name. He wasn't about to let his brand get watered down by a value menu promotion. He proved that his name and his persona were worth a whole lot more than 79, 89, or 99 cents. In the end, the rapper who built a career on being a brilliant businessman did it again.